Hi guys, this is Daryl with Lee's Lawn Care Services. How y'all doing today, man? Coming to you guys on a somber note, man. Last 2 days have been very, very challenging, man. My my ex mother-in-law, she passed away today. Yesterday she fell ill. Um, I think she had a stroke, in my opinion, because the doctors yesterday they couldn't seem to figure out what was going on, and everybody came together, and they still couldn't tell us much of what had happened, and man, it's just life so short, man. Yeah, she and I mean yesterday it was a shock to the system because uh, when the phone calls come out, it just it messes with you because I was um, I was I had finished cutting the yard. I was doing an estimate when I text my son. I said, is it raining in the area that he was in? Because I was gonna go back to his area and work, and he was like, no, it's not raining, but it don't look good. And then he started explaining to me, hey, my mom's not doing well. She fell, and the ambulance is at the house, working on her. And they hadn't at that time they hadn't even found a pulse. So I cut the estimate off that I was at, and I was driving as fast as I could to get to where they were, and it seemed like I couldn't drive fast enough, and then I almost gotten 3 wrecks with the trailer, and I had to calm down and gather myself and get to where they were. So when I got to where they were, they had already went to the hospital. So he texted and he said, hey, we at the hospital, um, you can come here. So I'm burning up the interstate again, getting to the hospital to where they were. And then I got to the hospital, and he was there, and my ex-wife was there with her fiance, and um, my, her dad was there. My son's grandpa, so they were there, and he started explaining to us what had happened, and I was just in shock, and just because we had divorced, and everything had been done and all for some years now, doesn't mean that you don't still care about the person, or care about their family. Which I still did stuff for her mom and dad if they needed me to move stuff with the truck or whatever. I just did it. I didn't. It was not even a question because I couldn't count the amount of times they did stuff for us when we were together, and when we really needed them, they were there for us. So, you know, even though we wasn't together, I still did stuff to help out if need be. I still brought them lunch every now and then. It was just crazy. So they couldn't really figure out what was going on yesterday, and they stabilized her, but she coded twice later on that night. And it was just a rough time. And so this morning, well, in my case, guys, I gotta work. I can't sit like that because it really tears at my spirit. So that morning came. My daughter drove in. She was in Missouri. So they drove in like 9-10 hours, whatever it was. They drove in, and it got here about 2:30 in the morning, and they couldn't go in the hospital because the hospital was on like a semi-lockdown. It was only letting emergency people in, stuff like that, and nobody else could go in. So my ex stayed there all night, and she was in the waiting room, and she was locked in, and she never left. and her dad, he was in the room with her mom, all night. And so, well, he finally left around 3 or 4. He had to go take his medication, his insulin and stuff, and try to get some type of sleep or something. So he wasn't there all night. He wound up leaving when my daughter finally made it there. They finally let him out at about 5 in the morning or whatever it was when they opened the doors, and they went and changed up, and then they wound up going right back over there, and they wanted him to make a decision. So, they wound up making a decision, and he took all the life support off of her, and she was breathing on her own. I was there yesterday for about 2 hours yesterday, and then I was there today because I had to leave. I had to go finish working. I had to go home. I couldn't stay, but they were getting good hands because, from my ex-wife's standpoint, her fiance was there, and her dad was there, and my son was there, and my son was there with his girlfriend. So they had family there, so I didn't stay. And today I was there for about another 2 hours today because I asked them, I said, well, what's going on? They said, well, they're taking off the life support. And I went back over there, and I did a couple yards, and I got there around 12, and I didn't leave till it was after 3. So it was like 3:30 when I finally left, and they had taken everything off, and she was breathing on her own, and the nurse was saying, well, there's no brain activity. It's just instinctive things that are happening. So she was breathing on her own, and you could hear the fluid, just filling her lungs, man. It's not a sound or a feeling that you wanna have, So I left around 3:30. I had to go back out and try to do something. I can't stand there. Like it just tears at me. I couldn't stand there like that. So I left out, and everybody else was there, and my son called me at about 4:45, man, and she had passed. She was gone. The breathing stopped, and the heart was still beating, he said, because the machine was still going, and that was just it, and she was gone. She was gone. I think, in my opinion, I think she was gone yesterday. There was a time where her body was just like jumping uncontrollably, and they gave her some medicine to calm her down, and I think that's when she really, in my opinion, I think that's when she left, because I guess it was just too much. And then today was just a formality, I couldn't tell you all the things that this lady had done for us, man. I borrowed money from her many a times, and I paid her back. And there was a couple times I borrowed money, man, and she didn't even want it back. And this was years back, man, and it's just tough. It's tough, and it's crazy because this is my ex mother-in-law. It's not my current mother-in-law. It's my ex mother-in-law, and she treated us good, and I'm a firm believer in you treat people the way you want to be treated. We treated her. I treated her with respect, and that's what she treated me when the first day she met me. Never had anything against me or anything. And just accepted me into the family, and it was a great thing. And then we were married for 20 years, me and her daughter, and we divorced. But we still have a good relationship because we still communicate. And we didn't leave on bad terms, anything like that, but, and I still did stuff for her family, and that was that, I know I did a video the other day about family, man, and this hits home, man. This really hits home, you know. And I called my mom and I talked to her for a while about it, you know, and talked to my dad. You know, they're still my parents are still here, you know, thank the Lord. Yeah, but my grandparents are gone, you know, they didn't make it, you know. And now my son's grandmother, his great grandparents were gone because that was my side and his mom's side. But now his grandmother just passed, you know. His grandpa's still here, you know. He still has him, but you know, and we got to talk to him. We got to counsel him because he having issues too, you know, with the stuff he's dealing with, you know, because he felt like he could have did more, but when he dialed 911, the people were there within 4 minutes. 4 minutes. So they were like on it, you know. So they were there, and it took them a while just to revive her enough to get a pulse. You know, it's just, oh my Lord, man. Cherish your family, man. Cherish your family. Hold your wives or your girlfriends or whatever. Hold them tight, man. Because ain't nobody promised another day. And you mean to tell me, you know, you think that that lady went to bed that night and woke up that morning thinking that that was going to happen to her? I promise you, she did not think that way. She didn't think that her life was going to end the next day when she went to bed that night. She didn't think that. And that's what I told my girlfriend. I'm like, every day that passed, you go to work, I go to work, we come home, you know, we think we supposed to come home, quote unquote. We supposed to come home. There's no guarantee you come home. You know, that's why you got to pray every day for protection, because you never know what can happen out here in these streets, man. So guys, I'm gonna leave you on that one, man. I just gotta try and work through this, you know, and I'm not the only one, you know. I'm not, you know, I'm not the only one, you know, that have to deal with losses like this. But you know, for the guys that know me, you know, that sent prayers, thank you for your prayers, man, because I know a lot of people, and it's not just on this YouTube thing. YouTube is just one thing that I started, you know, but you know, a lot of people, and I want to thank them for their prayers, man. And she couldn't pull through this one, you know. And then, you know, in my case, you know, I told my son, you know, I can't fix this. You know, a lot of stuff that happened, you know, over the years, I just jumped in and fixed whatever problem, solved it, whatever. And I told him, I said, son, I can't fix this. I don't have a remedy for this. You know, it's just not something physical that we could just jump in and deal with, you know. So I don't want you guys to be upset about anything, you know. Everything's gonna be fine, you know. We're gonna keep moving forward. We're gonna keep cutting our yards, and you know, we're gonna keep enjoying our lives, man. But you know, sometimes you gotta take a, I wouldn't say backward step, but I'm gonna say side step, because I don't like saying backwards. You don't go backwards, you go forwards. And sometimes you get off the side of the road to change your tire or whatever, and you get your butt back on the road. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. You guys have a great long cast season. Hopefully, when I talk to you next time, it won't be feeling this way. You know, not feeling like this. You guys take care. I love you. Stay blessed and stay prayed up. And I'll pray for you guys. Peace out.